Hi friends, day 24 of Rediscovering Jesus. Today it's all about the gap. Matthew Kelly begins with asking us the question, if I lived the gospel 100%, how much would my life change? What an awesome question for us to actually focus on, especially the gospel that we just heard the other day on Sunday. And tonight, the beautiful opportunity for each of us to enter into the sacrament of reconciliation as priests from across the diocese come to assist me to help you to drink from Jesus' fountain of mercy. Let's actually make the conscious choice this Lent to radically change as we come to know Jesus and to rediscover who he truly is. What is the gap between the gospel message and my life? What is the gap between the gospel message and my life? How important it is to realize that this gap needs to shorten. And the only way it's going to shrink and shorten is through the grace of God and the conscious efforts of each of us in our own daily lives. I have to make a conscious effort to not to talk back. I need to have a conscious effort to bite my tongue. I have to make a conscious effort to make sure that God is invited into my life in a daily way through my daily prayers, that I would never miss Mass, no matter whether I'm in Grimsby or on vacation. God always has to make that priority in my life. Speaking of priority in life, Matthew also talks about the comparisons we make between us and others. Our job is not to compare ourselves to us and others. Jesus is very clear about that. Rather, we need our standards to be the standards that Jesus gives us, standards that talk about holiness, and that our standards should be here, not in relation to everyone else. Because it's easy to find those that we think, oh, I'm doing great compared to them. We never compare ourselves to somebody who's much more superior. I'll never attain Mother Teresa's holiness. Well, why not? Mother Teresa received the same grace of the Holy Spirit that you receive, that I receive. Why couldn't we be just as holy as she is? And perhaps even more. The reality is, she lived the gospel message. If we live the gospel message, then we will attain sainthood and holiness too. So Matthew reminds us that being a Christian is not about being perfect, is it? But rather, it's being proactive with intentionality. Are you being proactive in seeking holiness? What is your intentions? If we close the gap in our lives, it refers to the fact that we are to come to know Jesus more and more. Think of the many people in the scriptures, friends, that came to know Jesus and made a conscious effort to come to know him. They go out of their way to get close to him. They climb down from trees, they pull at his garments, they push through the crowd, they pull away the roof. There are so many ways in which people stopped at nothing to come close to Jesus, to come to know Jesus, to come to listen to Jesus. What are you actually doing to come to know Jesus, to come close to Jesus? How are you staying warm by staying close to the fire of grace, the fire of mercy, and the fire of love that Jesus is? Let's spend the time today to really focus on closing the gap and using the grace of Jesus to help us to live holiness. God bless you all.